Hey everyone, good afternoon. It's time for lunch, my favorite time of the day. Anytime I get to eat a meal, it's my favorite time of the day. It's lunchtime today. As you can see, I have this fancy appliance with me today. We're going to use the air fryer today because we just got at the library this America's Test Kitchen Air Fryer Perfection book. You know, if you've watched these videos before, you know that I love my big America's Test Kitchen cookbook. We have, it's available on Libby, and it's available as a very large hardcover at the library, and it's my favorite cookbook. Not my favorite cookbook. I have so many favorite cookbooks that if I had more room on my bookshelf in my kitchen, it would just be full of cookbooks. Probably will eventually. Anyway, so we're using that. This is an air fryer toaster. So basically it's just a convection toaster. So people keep asking me, because they know that I know about cooking, should I get an air fryer? If you have a convection oven, you don't really need an air fryer. The nice thing about the air fryer units that you can get is that it's a little more compact. This actually heats up really well, to the point where it's suggested that actually, like, our recipe today says 400 degrees. I'm gonna cook it at like 345 degrees. So that's like the one thing I've learned about this. They work pretty fast, even faster than the oven, and you need less oil. My parents have a convection oven, but I've never used it. And I don't live there, so I'm not going to use it. But anyway, this is just really, really nice. It's easy, it's compact. You're not making a big mess out of your oven. Like I said, you just don't need that much oil because your fan unit is really close to your food, and I guess it just works better. But I like this because it replaces my old toaster oven, the workhorse from the 90s. And it's also convection and air fry. I mean, it has two different things. It says convection bake and air fry. I think the air fry function, it gets a little bit hotter, versus the convection bake. I don't know, I haven't used all the functions on this yet, but we're gonna air fry today. I have been using it for things like fries, Brussels sprouts, kale chips. Kale chips are my favorite. They go really, really quickly, so much faster than the oven. My gas oven does not do kale chips that well. This one does it in about 7 minutes. I love it. But this is gonna be the first time that I've done a protein in this new oven, and particularly with the air fryer function. So this book has so many different recipes, like beyond just like, oh, I can make crispy vegetables and french fries in an air fryer. There are so many protein-based, meat-based recipes in here to show you how versatile an air fryer is, so I think that's really cool. So today we're making Thai shrimp skewers with peanut dipping sauce. The recipe is on our website temporarily right now if you are interested in that recipe, or you can put a hold on this cookbook, get this cookbook. I'm not doing it on skewers. I don't ever need skewers. I feel like they're wasteful, first of all. And I don't have them, and I don't want them. I don't need them. Anyway, and I'm not doing peanut dipping sauce. I'm doing almond butter. I don't eat peanuts. So the first thing you're supposed to do is you're supposed to make sure that your shrimp are thawed, peeled, deveined, good to go. You can leave the tail on if you want. I took the tail off of mine. Mine are currently in the fridge because the first thing you need to do is brine your shrimp. So you do cold water with your shrimp and salt. So this is about 1 quart of cold water and 2 tablespoons of salt. Refrigerate for at least 15 minutes. So, of course, true to America's Test Kitchen, just like the other cookbook that I love, it tells you kind of like the reasoning behind why they chose certain ingredients, why you're brining it. Brining, super popular. It brings moisture into your meat. So I'm going to grab my shrimp. And I'm just trying to see what's next. I'm going to whisk the oil, honey, lime zest. I don't have lime zest, I have lime juice. So let me get that too. There's the lime juice. And here's my shrimp. Nice and cold. I'll put that to the side for a second because this is taking up my counter. All right, so what we're supposed to do is whisk in some oil, vegetable oil. I'm using avocado oil because it's better for you than vegetable oil. A little bit of honey, lime zest, and some pepper. So let me toss in some, because I don't have lime zest, a little bit of lime juice. A little bit of oil. That's about a tablespoon, very good. How much honey? About a teaspoon of honey. I love honey. All right, there we go. I'm a big fan of honey. My friend actually gave me a jar of honey that is so large, I don't know if I'll ever finish it. But her in-laws got it from a local to them farm, so it's fresh, it's not overly filtered or heated or anything, which is really nice. All right. There we go, about a teaspoon of honey and some pepper. So I'm just gonna whisk that all together. And you can't even see it. We're short on counter space today. Not really, it's just the way the camera is set up. There's actually plenty of room right here for me to work, which is really nice. But it's how the cookie crumbles with the whole camera thing. Just how it goes. All right, I'm just trying to get all the honey out of my teaspoon. And I have my fresh pepper right here. I'll just mix that all together. Like a little marinade, a little dressing almost for our shrimp to cook with. Okay. I just want the honey keeps sticking to everything. Stuck. Okay. I'm just gonna mix that up. Oil, honey, lime zest into a large bowl. Add shrimp and toss to coat. Then if you're using skewers, you thread your shrimp onto the skewers, and then it pretty much like just goes into the air fryer, and it doesn't take that long. It says it takes about 6 to 8 minutes, and we're gonna flip it about halfway through. Okay, so here's my little sauce. It smells good. I think I need a little more lime juice. The honey that I have is particularly strong in flavor. It's another one of those kind of like raw natural honey, so it's got a strong flavor. So I just want to do a little bit more of that. Let's see. The nice thing also about an air fryer is that unlike an oven, it doesn't need to preheat. So it's cold out right now, so I probably wouldn't mind preheating my oven, but let's say it's hot out. And remember in the summer when I did book cooks, I was like, I don't want to use my oven today. This is really nice because this appliance doesn't get that hot. But the air fryer, you don't need to preheat, so you don't have it on for that long, which is really good. So I'm gonna grab my shrimp from over here. Okay, so they're still in their water, so I'm going to toss them into the bowl with the little dressing. And I'm just going to dry them off a little bit. I don't want them to have excess water in them. So you use like a paper towel, a towel that you're gonna put into the wash immediately, whatever it is, just because you don't want them dripping, because that means they are not going to cook that well. They're not going to get brown. We love the air fryer or convection because it gets things a little bit brown. We love that. So I'm just going to pat them dry a little bit and toss it into this dressing here. This is the last of my bag of shrimp that I think I bought back in December, January, whatever it was, because it's just me, so this was actually really nice for me. I think I've made 5 or 6 different dishes out of a bag of shrimp for myself. Really worked out pretty nicely. buy a bag of shrimp, but it'll be a good lunch for me for today. While this is cooking, even though it's gonna go really quickly, I'm also gonna heat up some cauliflower rice so that my lunch does have some vegetables in it today, and we'll make the sauce. So it's like, it's supposed to be a peanut sauce. If you eat peanut butter, you can use peanut butter. Cashew butter would probably be really good too, but like I said, I'm gonna use almond butter. It was the first one that I pulled out. I have, what do I have? I always keep some tahini in the fridge, cashew butter, almond butter. They're so good for things. Different stir fries, sauces, baked goods. I have a friend who is currently egg free, and I'm usually gluten or grain free, and I've been finding a lot of recipes that use almond butter in grain free and egg free cooking, so I'm gonna try some of those out. So I always keep a jar of some kind of nut butter in my fridge. All right, a couple more pieces of shrimp. I did this last night too. You don't want the excess water because it prevents browning. I made salmon in a cream sauce, and it was frozen to begin with, and when I thawed it, it was still, my fridge is very cold. It was still partially frozen, so I just kind of thawed it under running water, and then I had to give it a good pat down, because if you have all that excess water, first of all, when you put it into a hot, oily pan, that's no good. But also, you want it to get brown and crispy, so you can't have all that excess moisture. And these have literally been sitting in a pool of salt water, so I'm just gonna make sure that they are not excessively wet. Just giving them a little pat. Two more. I don't know if anybody else out there has an air fryer or has any air fryer recipes that they really, really love. I'd love to hear about it. Like I said, I've pretty much just been doing like kale chips. I did sweet potato fries 2 or 3 times. I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to figure out exactly how to make them come out how I want. They're pretty good. They're not bad, but... All right, so I'm going to toss this dirty towel in the sink. I'm gonna wash my hands, and I'm gonna do the rest of this with tongs so that I don't need to worry about having raw fish on my hands. I'm gonna toss the water down the sink as well. No more raw fish water. Okay. Let me wash my hands really quickly. And so the way an air fryer really works to help get your food crispy is, you can see I have a tray, and then I have this basket. Same as if you're cooking in the oven and you have like a rack over a pan, this is the same principle. And with the conventional air fryer unitaskers, the little units, they're the same thing. They have a tray, and then they have either like a basket that's very similar to this, or the ones with the little vents that the air gets all around your food, helps cook it more evenly, more quickly, and promotes better browning. So it does go very quickly in this particular machine. All right, so I have my tongs, and I'm just gonna make sure all of my shrimp is nice and coated. I want to get all of that flavor on the shrimp. I also love how quick shrimp cooks too. That's like one of my favorite things. It's just so quick to cook up. That's why I've done, I feel like, so many shrimp recipes on here. I think this is probably like my 4th shrimp recipe I've done on these videos. Just because they're quick. They're quick. They're delicious. I'm a big fan. Okay, so let's see. If you're doing it in skewers, blah, 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 you're going to arrange them in a certain way. Blah, blah. Place your basket in your air fryer and set temperature to 400 degrees. Cook until shrimp are opaque throughout, 6 to 8 minutes, flipping halfway through cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to shake them a little bit and then put them in my basket. They're already shrinking up a little bit from the acid from the lime juice. I guess the skewers just kind of like, you're not serving them on the skewers, but they say, this is America's Test Kitchen, and they just like to try ways to make things the most delicious, the most presentable. The skewers will help prevent them from curling up too tight on themselves, if that's important to you, but it's not to me. And you want to make sure that everything is as spread out as possible. If you have one of the conventional kind of air fryer units, your basket might be a little smaller than mine. So you don't want to layer them on top of each other. You want everything to be spread out. So if you need to do 2 batches, you do 2 batches. It goes quickly, so it's okay. Okay. This is gonna go quickly. I'm really excited. Lunch in a hurry because I'm hungry. Go. So this can go right into my oven now, my air fryer. And let's see, like I said, I have mine set to about 50 degrees less than the recommendation in the recipe, because this, if you have a toaster, oven, air fryer, they are a little stronger. So I'm just gonna put it in for a little bit. We're gonna watch the clock, and I'm gonna grab some cauliflower rice for myself, and then we're gonna do the sauce. So I could do the cauliflower rice later. No, I'll do it now because I'm gonna be hungry. So I've got my bowl. I mean, you could put this on like a bed of spinach. I bet it would taste great too, with a little bit of lime. I just like cauliflower rice. It's my go-to. It's really easy. I'm just gonna keep an eye on my shrimp. Oh, I've also done broccoli in the air fryer. That's really good. Yeah, the broccoli actually came out great. And I did it from frozen broccoli. So you can put frozen vegetables in your air fryer and it will still get crispy. I defrosted it in the microwave first. I squeezed out any excess water, and then I put it on my basket. Just a little bit of oil, not as much as if you were doing it in the oven. And my broccoli got really crispy, so that was fun. Okay, so we're gonna make the sauce next, and you need about 3 tablespoons of creamy peanut butter, nut butter, whatever you're using. Some hot tap water, which thins out the oil and warms up your nut butter. I'm using the almond butter. Lime juice, cilantro, I don't have, and fish sauce. I forgot the fish sauce. They're not doing much yet. They're looking pretty good. There's like some in the back that are starting to get a little bit pink, so you definitely just always want to keep your eye on your air fryer. It goes pretty fast. Like sometimes you'll just, even with the conventional ones, I've used one before at a friend's house. Sometimes you go to shake it up or just kind of flip things over, and you're like, okay, it could go for another 5 minutes, and 2 minutes in, you're like, what's burning? It browns things really quickly because it's just that nice dry air that's circulating. It's really good. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of my almond butter into a bowl right over here that you can kind of see. Stir it up because I use the natural kind, so there's oil on top. I'm just eyeballing this. Just a sauce. I'm just gonna do it by taste, really. Okay. A little bit more. I'll grab the fish sauce that I forgot again. Keep forgetting about that fish sauce. spoon. Shake it up a little bit. I love fish sauce. It really makes a big difference. Some people kind of like turn their nose up at it because it does smell a little funky, but it makes a huge difference. Like, I think I've said this before, in recipes where I am making like a Thai-inspired curry or some kind of stir fry. I'm gonna give them another minute before I flip them. There's a big difference pre-fish sauce and post adding fish sauce. It just is umami. It does not taste as funky as it smells out of the bottle, trust me. My lime juice again, and a little bit of hot tap water to thin out that almond butter. Lime juice. I don't know, should I flip you guys? I'm gonna flip them. I have my tongs right here. So nicely. Give them a little flip. They're pretty much almost cooked through. I might even turn the broiler on. This does have a broil function. So look at this. It's been barely any time. They're pink on both sides already, which again is an advantage over doing it in the pan because you do one side at a time pretty much. But I might actually turn the broiler on just to get them a little crispy. We'll see. They look good. And they don't feel like overly firm. They don't feel like they've been overcooked yet. I'm gonna turn the heat up just a little bit. Put the timer on and I'm gonna keep my eye on it. And then I need the hot tap water for my sauce. See how hot my tap water will get. Doesn't usually get super hot when I ask it to. No, we're gonna get there. Good. About 2 tablespoons, I said, yeah. And this is hot tap water because it doesn't need to be boiling. It just needs to be hot enough to loosen up the oils in your peanut butter or almond butter, whatever it is. Good enough for me. How are we looking, shrimp? Oh, they're starting to actually get a little crispy on the top too, I see. I'm impressed. Okay, so here's my sauce so far. It doesn't really look that impressive. We're gonna mix it up. Try to loosen up that almond butter. Might even microwave it a little bit because these natural ones have a lot of oil. See, this is not really coming together, so I think I need to heat this up a little bit to really get all of those oils out and combined. How are you doing, guys? Oh, they're browning on the edge. This is like very exciting, and it goes so quickly. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this off while I heat up this sauce to get it to come together a little bit better. Because it goes very quickly. And we just don't want them to burn. I do want them to get crispy, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna experiment with the broil function. We'll see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna warm this up a little bit. Cauliflower rice all heated up so I can serve and enjoy with some veggies. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the convection broil function and then turn this knob down. Okay, that's all one thing. I've never used this function before, so I'm like, what does that do? And I'm just gonna watch it because broiling goes so quickly, you know that even in a regular oven. So I'm just gonna watch it. What but I do want to get a little bit brown on top. And it started to, but I don't want to overcook them because shrimp does overcook kind of quickly. This is probably my favorite appliance in my whole kitchen. Sorry to my KitchenAid mixer, which comes in at a close second. Oh, there they go. They're starting to brown. And so it's interesting. There's a convention broil and a regular broil, and I guess I still want that dry air going around, so that's the one that I'm using. Okay, let me get my sauce, and by the time I get my sauce, this should be done. I don't know. I lied. Oh, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I'm pretty excited about this. I'm gonna whisk this together. There we go, much better. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I could let it go darker, but I don't want to overdo it. So see, now this is coming together. Still is kind of thick. I'm gonna add a little bit more water and whisk it. This is what happens when you don't measure and you just wing it. And I might add a little bit of pepper too. Okay. Whisk this together. There we go. That's a better consistency now. You can see that. I'm gonna give it a taste. You don't need any salt. The fish sauce has enough salt. Oh, much smoother. Look at that. Ah, there we go. I'm gonna give it a little taste, and I think I need to add some pepper. Little pepper, so tiny, tiny little squeeze of lime juice. Okay, and a little bit of fresh pepper. Put this away. Okay. And that should be good. Yeah, it's so much smoother because you really do need to heat it up and pay attention to how much water you're adding. Especially if you're using a natural peanut butter or almond butter because they're just thicker. So. All right, let me taste that. Much better. Oh, I like it. Okay, let me grab my bowl. And then I'm gonna take my shrimp. Oh, they look so good. Take my shrimp out. Oh, look at these little buddies. Unplug this, and I'm going to just wash this really quickly, and then I'll use it to grab my shrimp. Okay. I'm really excited. Oh, yeah, they look great. They're, like I said, they did shrink up a little bit, but they're still pretty tender. They're not rubbery or anything, so I like the way that they cooked. The edges are getting a little bit brown and crispy, which I also really like. And you can cover this tray in foil, apparently. I've done it once or twice, but it is pretty easy to clean on its own, which I like. Ooh, that one's really crispy over there. I'd love to see how it would come out if when I did that crispy honey shrimp recipe. It was in January with the batter on it. I would love to see how that comes out in an air fryer. Although with all the batter on it, I don't know how it would do in the basket, or if I would just need to put it on the tray. It takes experimenting, I guess. All right, I'm gonna drizzle some of my sauce right on top. You really use it as a dipping sauce, but I'm making myself a bowl because I want to have a complete lunch, so I made sure to have my veggies. Okay. So there we go. This is how mine looks. I need a fork. I'm going to taste one of the shrimp on its own without the sauce, this little guy right here, just to see how the little marinade and the brining came out. Wow, this is cooked really well. This is actually pretty good. Could probably do with like a minute less cooking. I think what I would do next time, because I definitely love this and will make it again, is I'll probably air fry it like 3 minutes on each side and then broil it for maybe 2. Like I'll do a little less time air frying than what I did and then kind of make up for that difference with the broil. But there's like a nice snap on the outside from the air fryer and the broiler, but the inside is still really moist, and you can taste that lime. It's a little sweet from the honey, but it doesn't taste like honey. It just balances out some of the acidity from the lime. So I'm just getting some of the sauce on here now too, some of that Thai-inspired sauce. This is delicious. That sauce is great. I can taste the fish sauce a little bit, just because it adds that flavor that you're looking for in like an Asian-inspired dish. The almond butter just kind of adds a little fat. It makes it creamy, makes it a little more delicious. This is very good. This is a really good meal, and I'm very excited about it. And I'm just going to have a little bit of my cauliflower rice with some of the sauce on it too. It's good. I'm really going to enjoy my lunch today. Well, this is a delicious lunch. We may be using this again next week. Where's my book? We'll see. We may be continuing the protein experiment in the air fryer. Let's see. I think there was a recipe in here that I was looking at. Is it this one or this one? Oh, I was thinking of the lamb sliders with apricot chutney, but then I was like, I don't know if I really feel like doing that with the apricots. So we might do the lamb kofta wraps. I might make my own wraps, and then I would just need to get my hands on some cucumber. But I do have some frozen lamb. But yeah, we can continue the experiment of cooking proteins in the air fryer so you can see what it's like. But we do have some air fryer, Instant Pot, slow cooker cookbooks. If you're looking for that kind of thing at the library, we do have them. You can go to bccls.org, make sure it says Township of Washington Library, and just type in like Instant Pot, pressure cooker, slow cooker, air fryer, and what's available will come up, and you'll be able to see which ones we have right now or which ones you can order from another library. So really exciting, lots of fun stuff, lots of fun cookbooks, and we'll do some more of this next week. I'm gonna go finish my lunch and enjoy it, and I will see you all soon. Bye.